Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate you, man. It's I did not expect that I'm going to come here and be here on Thanksgiving Day having a whole podcast with you guys today. So it's a blessing. Thank you so much for having us on, and we're definitely excited to be able to learn more about you guys and your company within the next hour.
Of course, thanks for having us. And I think the only thing that's missing is the hot turkey.
There's going to be a lot of hot things being talked about today. We'll have the turkey afterwards, but I want to get to know you guys a little bit more. But before doing that, I was really curious to know what even gave life to SPARQ. How did SPARQ come about?
So SPARQ was founded around 4 years ago, back in 2021, post-pandemic. And the idea really came about because, as car guys, me and Kodran were working at a different startup at that point. And we realized that, there was a huge problem in the car industry with just it not being transparent enough and how advanced cars have gotten into. And then to a point where we realized that, ourselves being car guys and even the people that we love, right, our loved ones, friends, family, or anybody that we could think of, most of them are just being taken advantage by mechanics because of that lack of knowledge, by a few bad apples in the industry. And I think, it has grown to where there has been, common sayings in regards to the car industry and mechanic industry is like, hey, if you're gonna go to a mechanic shop, you have to bring somebody who knows about cars. Bring your husband, bring your father, bring your boyfriend, whatever it is, and that kind of sparked the idea because we're all affected by it, and I think Kojin's got a better story to tell, in regards to that.
Hello, everybody. So, as Daniel mentioned, we were always car people, and we had our fair share of experiences ourselves, where we've had some, how should I put it, bad experiences with the folks in service industry. And what put the last straw was my wife, now girlfriend at the time. She came home crying after having a really bad experience with a mechanic that she's been going to for the past 5 years. And so in the back of my mind, I thought that the solution to having a good experience in mechanic is to build a relationship. And the moment that proved to not be the case, Daniel and I pragmatically, we looked at what solutions are out there currently, and are they meeting the mark that we're looking for? Are they having that seamless experience where the everyday driver can know what's going on with their vehicle? And we were not satisfied. We saw an opportunity because the market is quite fragmented, and you have these pieces of value that are kind of primarily catered towards the folks that are rather technical, mechanics, DIYers, and so there wasn't really anything that was comprehensive yet simple to use, and that's why we built SPARQ.
That's so awesome. You guys found the need in the market and you guys addressed it just based off of your guys' experience. As a founder of a tech company myself, I totally get that and relate to that. The device that you guys have is quite fascinating to me, and it's very capable to do a lot of things. And I want to know how many different iterations that you guys went through to get to this current level, because a lot of people don't see the hard days that are behind you guys to be able to create such a perfect little product,
I mean, when it comes to different iterations, we have one too many iterations to begin with, right? It was really from the simplest idea of how can we develop something that is so easy to use that you don't even need to know anything about cars, right? You can put it in front of a 5-year-old or in front of a 70-year-old, and everybody will get the same consistent experience, and without any prior knowledge to vehicle or mechanic related knowledge, and just be as equipped and as knowledgeable with the device than when you go into a mechanic shop. We went through a lot of different product iteration cycles when it comes to, because at the end of the day, we're focused a lot about customer journey and the overall UI and UX experience for our users, right? Because OBD2 scanners, they're nothing new, right? They've been out to the market since 1996, right? And for us, it's really about what is something different that we could do that nobody has done, but at the same time doesn't really disrupt a mature platform that has been developed for more than 30 years now, right? And when we look at it, it's really about materializing and making sure that it is not way too technical for somebody to use, but at the same time it integrates with the existing ecosystem, right? And when we talk about existing ecosystem is about the phones they use, right? How do we make it as simple as that? Because when it comes to OBD2 scanners, a lot of them are using a wire tablet. And your regular consumer, they're just not going to carry a tablet anywhere they go to get a code read that says P0500, and then you got to bring it to a mechanic and go on Google and debug it and say, oh, wait a minute, I drive a Jaguar. It's a different code on the Toyota. It's like, all right, back to square one, right? So it's really about that, and you know, also keeping it as simple as possible when it comes to the form factor of it, that you can just put it in your pocket, right? And bring it out, share it with friends, keep it with you, and as convenient as possible. So that's really, you know, the product iteration cycle that we go through is how do we make it so convenient that people forget that it even exists, and when they need it, they tap a few buttons, boom, you get a full comprehensive check on the vehicle, boom, you can ask the AI, you can talk to your car directly, and then it's just on and on and on. So, but, you know, when it comes to it, I think, you know, long story short is the entire product we just launched last year. The same date. It was a year ago. Last year, we're at the LA Auto Show. It was a booth across where Porsche is right now, and that really picked up the momentum when it comes to product market fit and just us realizing how big of an opportunity it is to really, you know, not think for the mechanic but think for the consumer.